The NFL trade deadline came and went on Tuesday, and there were a flurry of moves. 8 total trades went down. That's the second most on deadline day. And my big takeaway is Jerry Jones never retire. Never retire, my guy. You are the gift that keeps on giving. You are a gem. I can't get enough of Jerry Jones, and we'll get into the reasons why, but some huge names ended up getting traded on deadline day, one of those being to Jerry's team, the Dallas Cowboys. The biggest name probably was Sauce Gardner, but the Eagles didn't make a trade. They had already made all their trades previously by acquiring Jair Alexander, Michael Carter, and obviously Jalen Phillips yesterday, where they got their defensive end, edge rusher, linebacker hybrid type, whatever you want to call it. Eagles ended up addressing 2 key areas of need, secondary and the edge rush, and they hope that with some of these moves, like a Jalen Phillips and a Brandon Graham coming back, with Nolan Smith, the practice window opening up, and he's supposed to return when the Eagles take the field on Monday against Green Bay, their defensive end and their pass rush is going to look a lot different. But some of the moves that went down, though, non-Eagles, and by the way, one of those was not A.J. Brown, as I correctly predicted. As a lot of, I think, people with a brain cell correctly predicted. A.J. Brown was not going to get traded. It made no sense for the Eagles to trade him. They're trying to win a Super Bowl. You acquire players like A.J. Brown when you're trying to win a Super Bowl. You don't trade players like A.J. Brown when you're trying to win a Super Bowl. So A.J. Brown is an Eagle. Shocking. But the reason why I started off, well, no, let's get into the Sauce Gardner trade, because I think that was the big one that caught a lot of fans off guard. The former 4th overall pick, rookie of the year, shutdown cornerback, ends up going from the New York Jets, who did a total teardown, to the Indianapolis Colts, who I think are one of the surprise teams in the NFL, because no one really was banking on Daniel Jones becoming the guy that the Giants thought that he was going to be when they drafted him 6th overall. But they end up trading for Sauce Gardner and paying a steep price. 2 first-round picks. But they're probably banking on the fact that they're a good team, and their first-round picks are going to be in the 20s, so getting a shutdown corner under team control, which he is worth it. I will say, Sauce has kind of been getting cooked this year. He hasn't looked great. And I think that's one of the reasons why the Jets made this move, because I think on the surface you go, oh my God, they're trading a shutdown corner. And I'm not saying that he's Nnamdi Asomugha, but in terms of the name recognition, he is. When Nnamdi came to the Eagles, it was like Nnamdi Island, he's a shutdown corner, nobody wants to go at him. This season's been a little bit different for Sauce Gardner. Teams have been going at him. Now that might be because he doesn't have a guy on the opposite side of him, so teams are prone to attack him, and he's always on their best guy. It might be a scheme situation. I'm not saying that Sauce is cooked, but I wasn't shocked that they made the move. I looked at it like, man, they might be getting out of a contract that they regret, because as they watch him play this season, he's been giving up big plays. He just hasn't looked good. Bottom line, he hasn't looked good. But he goes to Indianapolis, where they're hoping that he regains that shutdown corner feel. And, he ends up shoring up their defense, and they can make a run, obviously. But that's a really, really steep price, and I don't think a lot of people expected Sauce Gardner to get traded. But that's not the only trade that the Jets made, because, as I said, they did a total teardown, and they traded their best players, and Sauce Gardner, and the other one being Quentin Nelson. Quentin Nelson's an incredible player, one of the best defensive tackles in football. He is an absolute stud. But the fact that the Dallas Cowboys, the fact that Jerry Jones was there last night, he watched the Cowboys lose to the Arizona Jacoby Brissett-led Cardinals. And he came out of that game. He came out of watching his team go 3-5-1, and he said, bye. By golly, we're going to buy. We're going to contend, and we're going to buy this year. Now, look, the 2 moves that he made, acquiring Quentin Nelson and acquiring, the linebacker from Cincinnati is Logan Wilson? That doesn't sound right. Well, let's just go with Logan Wilson. I think it's Logan Wilson. Both players are under team control for the next year, so it's not like this is a move solely for this year. Like the Eagles trading for Jalen Phillips, he's not signed to a contract past this year. It might just be a rental. That's not the case for the Cowboys. They might be looking at it like this is just a down year for us, but you know what? We're getting a chance to bring in some high-level talent. We're going to do it because we're playing the long-term game. Fine. But they gave up a haul for Quentin Williams. They gave up a second-round pick in 2026 and a first-round pick in 2027. And I'm just here to tell you, if you watch the Dallas Cowboys or if you've seen the Dallas Cowboys recently, there's nothing to tell you that first-round pick in 2027 won't be a decent first-round pick in 2027. Like, I'm kind of expecting that first-round pick to be 15 and up because it's just such a dysfunctional organization where they don't treat their players correctly, and we saw that in the Michael Parsons trade. Jerry Jones is such what's the word? I'll just say he runs his team like a plantation owner, where it's like, you're good, you're lucky to have me. You know, kiss the ring, bow down. You want your contract, beg for it. And that's just not the way that owners should run their teams in 2025, because players have power, and he's found that out when Michael Parsons says, dude, pound sand. Like, I'm not playing this game, and he ends up having to trade him. On the flip side, the Cowboys do end up having draft picks to trade because they did end up trading Michael Parsons, but it's a dysfunctional team, it's a dysfunctional organization, and it's led by a geriatric guy who thinks that players don't have power because back when he bought the team, they didn't. So yeah, I mean, calling him a plantation owner is a bit harsh because I don't mean it in the racial tones. I mean it as like the boss that thinks that you don't have an option to go anywhere else. The boss that says you're lucky to have a job. The boss that won't give you a raise but instead gives you a pizza party. That's Jerry Jones. And there's nothing to make me think that Jerry Jones won't be building a team that is not really going to seriously contend for much in 2027. So that draft pick, and it's the higher of the draft picks, will probably be a decent draft pick. Now, again, they have 2 first-round picks to play with, so but I was blown away that Jerry Jones walked out of that game and said, no, we need to buy. Those are the 2 big trades that went down. There were some minor trades that went down, like with Joe Alt being out. The Chargers traded for Trevor Penning, the former first-round pick from the Saints. They gave up a 7th-round pick for him, so I haven't really been paying attention much to Trevor Penning's career, but trading a 7th-round pick for a former first-round pick isn't a great sign. But when, and I've talked about this before, trading for offensive line depth or offensive linemen this late in the year, you don't really see it a lot. But with Joe Alt going down, they needed somebody. I would have liked the Eagles to make a move for an offensive lineman, but I understood why they didn't. But yeah, those are your moves. I still like what the Eagles did a lot. I love what the Cowboys did. I love the fact that they bought and they gave up assets. It's incredible. But yeah, those are the moves. And now's the part where I ask you guys to please subscribe to the channel. Hit thumbs up if you like to smash that thumbs down button if you thought it sucked or I sucked or for whatever reason. But I do need subscribers. Subscribers are cool. I'd appreciate it if you could subscribe. And then let me know in the comments section what move shocked you, what move would you like to see. Just any overall general thoughts on the trade deadline. Just comment section's cool. I'm going to go now. I ordered food and I got to go pick it up.